President Donald Trump has spent decades carefully curating his public image. From his signature hairstyle to his trademark appearance, almost every detail has become part of his political brand. But a new book is now shedding light on just how far the president reportedly goes to keep that image intact. According to a new book by New York Times reporters Maggie Haberman and Jonathan Swan, titled Regime Change: Inside the Imperial Presidency of Donald Trump, the president has a rather unusual request for one of his closest aides: a pair of scissors. The authors claim Trump's longtime aide and personal valet, Walt Nauta, regularly carries scissors with him wherever he goes. And the reason? So the president can trim his own hair whenever he feels it's getting too long. According to the book, Nauta reportedly carries a range of personal items for Trump, including makeup, hairspray, and Tic Tacs, but he also keeps scissors nearby in case the president notices hair sticking out over the back of his collar before a public appearance. The revelation comes just days after social media users became fixated on what some described as a new Trump hairstyle. Photos from a White House Oval Office meeting sparked a wave of online reactions, with several users claiming the president appeared to be sporting what they called a mullet. One user simply wrote, quote, "Trump has a mullet now." Another joked, quote, "President Mueller." And a third commented, quote, "Incredible things are happening with Trump's hair today." But according to the book, hair maintenance isn't Nauta's only grooming responsibility. The aide is also reportedly tasked with keeping a garment steamer nearby to remove creases from Trump's suits before meetings and public appearances. The authors even claim Trump thinks so highly of his services that he once offered him to British Prime Minister Keir Starmer. Whether Starmer accepted the offer remains unclear. And this isn't the first time Trump's personal grooming habits have made headlines. Back in 2021, former White House press secretary Stephanie Grisham wrote that Trump would sometimes cut his own hair using what she described as a huge pair of scissors that looked more suitable for a ribbon-cutting ceremony than a haircut. In other words, the scissors apparently aren't new. They've simply become part of the routine. The latest revelations are just one of several eyebrow-raising stories emerging from the same book. Because, according to the authors, Trump also once made a cheeky three-word remark that some insiders believe may have hinted at who he sees as the future president of the United States.
Has President Donald Trump just dropped a major clue about who he wants to succeed him? According to a new book by New York Times journalists Maggie Haberman and Jonathan Swan, the president may have done exactly that, with just 3 words. The moment reportedly happened while Trump was redecorating the Oval Office in gold. As he admired the makeover, someone asked him a simple question: what happens if the next president undoes all of this? Trump's response? As per the book, he said, quote, "Cubans love gold." The remark is recounted in the new book Regime Change, which chronicles Trump's first year back in office. And according to the authors, that seemingly throwaway line was interpreted by some as a nod to Secretary of State Marco Rubio, the son of Cuban immigrants and one of the Republican Party's rising stars. The comment has reignited speculation over who could eventually inherit Trump's political movement, and Rubio isn't the only name in the conversation. Vice President J.D. Vance is also widely considered a frontrunner for the Republican nomination when Trump eventually leaves the stage. According to the book, some people around Trump believe Rubio may actually have a stronger path to the nomination. However, the authors say Trump also appreciates Vance's intellect and especially likes the vice president's performances during tough television interviews. At the same time, Vance has recently endured a difficult stretch politically. The vice president has faced criticism over negotiations involving Iran, and Trump himself has even joked that if the latest efforts involving Iran fall apart, he'd blame Vance. The book also claims Trump believes his overwhelming support in the 2024 election stemmed from his previous defeat. Although Trump continues to insist he won the 2020 election, those claims remain unsubstantiated. So was, quote, Cubans love gold simply a joke about decorating tastes? Or was it Trump casually hinting at who he sees as the future face of the Republican Party? The timing of the remark is especially notable because J.D. Vance is already dealing with a fresh round of online ridicule after viral claims suggested he was snubbed by Qatar's prime minister during the first round of peace talks in Switzerland on June 21st.